everybody for joining us today. We're so excited. We have myself, Stacy Kohler-Dark, and
Stacy Filipkowski.
So Stacy C and Stacy F. And who's joining us today is Melissa Temple Augusta. And Melissa, I'd love to have your introduction on your experience in the history of what you've brought with us from your years of skincare and the beauty industry, as now we all currently work with Canaway, which we're going to talk about. Today's topic of discussion is on skincare with Canaway and what makes us so great and different from what's out there. So Melissa, I'll turn it over to you if you could just tell us a little bit about your history and your experience.
Okay. So before this new life I have now at Canaway, I was with L'Oreal International for almost 25 years, doing a variety of things, starting in sales and building teams. Most of the companies were skincare brands, some makeup, some fragrance, but mostly dermatological skincare. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of the L'Oreal scientists and formulators and the labs and the marketing people, and just trying to also be compliant. I used to sell those products on TV retailing for HSN and QVC, so it was really important to know everything that might come up. It was live TV. So I kind of went through that proving ground and did a lot of research. So it has served me well here at Canaway. Skincare was the first product line that I evaluated when I came here 2.5 years ago. It was really important for me to be a believer in the skincare we had if I was going to embark on this mission, because it was my whole past. So that's kind of in a nutshell where I come from and what's led us here today.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So now, how long have you been with Canaway?
2.5 years. A little longer, actually. Yeah.
You started with the corporate team,
Mm-hmm.
correct, with Canaway. And
I did.
you know so much about the products, including skincare.
Yes.
So how did you learn so much about the ingredients and the skincare line?
When I first came to the company and I had my own personal experiences and I started using the products, I noticed that they worked. And I'm not used to natural skin brands, rather do anything. Most natural skincare brands don't produce the results that you're looking for. So when I was getting results after using all this fancy French dermatological skincare, I thought, why? So I had to know. So I became this person who was bugging everyone, all the formulators, the sourcing people, everyone at Canaway, wanting to know all the details. They had never been asked these questions before, I don't believe. I was probably a pain in their side, but I had to know, and I had to know to share it with everyone and, to understand what we had here at our fingertips. So that resulted in quite a long process. I started blogging. I started kind of being the resident trainer for the parent company on all the products, but especially the skincare because of my love of it.
That's fantastic. So, what makes our skincare line so fascinating, and I've been with the company for about a year, and it's interesting because I actually had about 8 years experience myself working with skincare.
Yes.
And it was a clinical skincare line, so completely different than what we promote and offer. And what's interesting about the CBD hemp skincare line with Canaway is I didn't even know that CBD hemp could even be put in skincare.
Me neither.
So that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And what I want to ask you is, our parent company, medicalmarijuana.inc. The company I had actually done some research on the skincare line, and it states that CBD as an antioxidant is even more powerful than vitamin C, E, A, or omega-3 fatty acids, which are also present in hemp oil, making CBD hemp oil a good source for antioxidants in skincare.
Yes.
So what do you know? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that people are looking for all the buzz ingredients that they see in the press, hyaluronic acid, your retinoids, your hydroxy acids, and your vitamins. And while all of those play a great role when it comes to skincare and anti-aging, when you get down to the source of all of this, we have these endocannabinoid receptor sites throughout all of our major organs of our body. Our skin is our largest and outermost organ of our body. So it's a reflection of what's going on the inside. It's a reflection of the life that we lead, or how we're eating, or how the medicines that we ingest are affecting our appearance. So I think that none of those get to the real root of aging and cell rejuvenation and cell renewal and the effects of oxidative stress on that process in our skin. When you have CBD in skincare, it's this unique experience. And that's what I have found, is that you're actually tapping into the real reason why we can stay young. I mean, why are we all eating CBD? Because we want to prevent issues that are coming. And it's the same with our skin.
Right.
You know, we don't want to talk about diseases and those types of things, but you know what we mean. There's a lot of things. There's aging, and then there's issues that you may encounter as well, internal and external.
And CBD, even our government patent,
Yes,
states that it's a very powerful anti-inflammatory, topically and internally. So
yes, that 507 patent, CBD as a neuroprotectant and antioxidant is huge. And that applies throughout everything and every place that we use CBD. You know, people asked me on my most recent trip last week, well, I can go into Ulta and I can buy hemp products. That's hemp. That's not CBD. Hemp can be hemp, which is nutritional, but it doesn't mean that it's high CBD. And that's a huge distinction that we need to make when comparing ourselves with anyone else that's out there on the market.
And you make a great point to that. And I was going to actually turn it over to Stacy, because she has a great testimony that went from using what on your face every day?
Well, I've never been good at any type of regimen for skincare ever. I did the clinical groups. I tried that. It burned my skin. I have very sensitive skin.
Me too.
I actually was, and I don't even think I told you this, but years ago, I was recruited to be a model for Mary Kay. And I went to my first modeling thing. They put all the stuff on me, and I left and had just rashes all over.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, that ended my early modeling career. But so I just really have never gotten into a regimen. So I really just used soap, and not even every night. So I started with this because obviously I work for the company. I've heard nothing but great things, and I thought I could probably get in on this. And I would say after about 2 weeks, I walked into my friend's house, and she's like, "What's going on with your face?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's so bright. It's so crystal clear." Yeah. And so, but not only that, not a bump, not a breakout, not a rash, and no burning. It literally just felt so clean. And the other issue I have a lot of times is any type of moisturizer clogs, and my skin can't breathe. So it's just, I absolutely love it. And I can officially say I've never said that about any type of skincare.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up a great question, Melissa, because I used to use, like we were talking about, clinical skincare line, and I get the same, if not more, compliments on my skin now after a year of using this natural CBD hemp oil based line with Canaway. And you know, and I have a great question with this, is when I first got one of my boxes a year ago in the mail, I was quite astonished because the back of the box said a list this long of all the ingredients it did not contain, not what it contained of ingredients, but what it did not contain. So what's your feeling on skincare lines with parabens and sulfates and petroleum and all these things? You know, just not to speak negative or positive one way or another, but from a factual standpoint, what would be your response to that?
I just think that you don't need them when you have the right combination of ingredients working in synergy together. You know, a lot of companies have to use chemicals because their ingredients don't have the integrity on their own to withstand whatever it may be. You know, and when you have this amazing combination of CBD and bee bong working in perfect synergy together, that's all you need. You know, the bee bong helps to make everything bioavailable as it absorbs into your skin. Everything's preserved in a natural way, you know, and so.
Bee bong, exactly.
Bee bong is our herbal blend that comes from Dr. Janelle Kim, who's our formulator. And she brought this to us from her family lineage of the Korean royal doctors. They would create medicines and skincare, even dermatological level treatments for the family. And now we are able to have this ingredient combination for ourselves and to use it in certain places like our skincare and our Revive CBD hemp oil products. So I think because we have found a natural solution that is unique, we don't need those other substances. Those other substances were created just because products didn't have an integrity on their own. And that's the only reason. So we don't need them. You know, things in nature need them because they withstand the elements every day. But this is not a naturally derived thing. When you have a paraben in a skincare product in our country, it's not coming from a natural source 9 times out of 10.
No, it's not. So
surfactants too, things that make things foam, are very dangerous. All the sulfates, those are called surfactants as a group of ingredients, and they're detergents, basically is what they are. So we stay clear of those, and that's why our cleanser doesn't foam. It cleans without foaming. We don't need that.
And that threw me for a loop the first
Everyone.
time. I don't know anything. Yeah. Like I said, I'm learning with the rest of them right now, but I remember being like, what is wrong? Why is this, you know, but again, it
the same thing happened too, because I was using foaming, and I called a fellow business partner who also does our company with us, and she's a licensed esthetician.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, Stacy, you want this oil-based wash. It's the foaming that has all the sulfates, and this isn't what you want in your skin.
We're just used to it. We're used to squeaky clean in America.
Absolutely.
It's the way it is.
Melissa, then do you mind me asking, what is so powerful about the dragon's blood ingredient in our serum and our moisturizer, correct?
You have dragon's blood in our
dragon's blood.
Yes. I know. It's so funny. People are scared of the name dragon's blood, but it's actually dragon's blood fruit. And a lot of very high-end doctor brands of skincare that you see in Sephora, etc., have used this ingredient, but it is a very expensive ingredient. I was shocked that it was in our products. It is a natural ingredient. And for some reason, this fruit of this tree is very anti-aging. It's amazing for anything when we're talking anti-aging. It's not about acne or dryness. We have other ingredients that address that. But it is we're very lucky. It's very unique to have this ingredient in our skincare.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So how many steps is our skincare? Can you just kind of elaborate a little bit of what our line offers as a regimen?
Sure. And it really depends on your acumen to a routine. Like we were just talking to Stacy about not ever committing to a regimen. That's very common. That's more common than people that have this 10-step routine. When I worked for L'Oreal and I would travel, the Asian countries were very much about 10 steps. Sit down and do them each very methodically. They have steps to their skincare that we don't even have here in the US. There's toner, then there's lotion, then there's serum, then there's moisturizer, and then there's, you know. But here in America, we want to keep it very simple. So step 1 can actually be a combination of 2 things. It can be cleanser and exfoliator mixed together in the palm of the hand in my little cosmetic cocktails that I like to make up for people who want shortcuts. So step 1 is either a cleanser or a scrub. Okay. And then it's toner, which is pretty universally the second step.
And then parts of the toner, Melissa, is generally just shrinks your pores, right? At one point, somebody called it for the pores. I
know. There's so many ways to talk about it. It's funny because at L'Oreal, verbiage was key. You know what I mean? It was all about saying the right thing. You can't make the size of a pore change physically. You can't technically close a pore. People say a lot with toners, it closes your pores. You don't want your pores to close. That's how you breathe. That's how dirt comes out of your skin. That's how moisture comes into your skin from the environment. So toners refine the pores and they complete the cleansing process. Okay. And because you don't rinse a toner off, the toner is really the first step to treatment. To me, a toner is the first step. You leave on your skin and do not rinse it off. So it's very important to prep the skin for the absorption of serums and moisturizers and other products that you're going to follow with the toner.
Yeah, I love using toners. Now that I know toner and the use of a toner, it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, it's not an astringent. The old astringents have alcohol and stripping agents, and that's not what we're doing here. And I think for us, it's really healthy to think of it as a treatment step.
Okay, and then follow up with serum.
And then you can use serum and or moisturizer together. And again, 1 pump of serum, 1 pump of moisturizer, make your cocktail and put it on. We're not as obsessed with the order of things, or that one has to absorb before the other, where some people are, especially from our old world, Stacey. I mean, that was very important. Apply the serum, let it absorb, then put the moisturizer on. And then where does the sunscreen come in? You know, there's different schools of thought on that. We don't have sunscreen, so we're lucky.
I was with a video camera when I got my first box years ago. I'm like, what? How?
No. I know. So you know what? This can be a 3-step thing. In the morning, you could do your scrub in the shower because you don't have makeup on your face. Let's just assume maybe you do from the night before, no harm, no foul. Second is a toner. And third is your moisturizer. Then at night, you could do cleanser to remove the makeup. Toner again, that's always the constant. And then the serum while you sleep. So you could break it up into AM, PM, or you could just combine it all in one fell swoop, and you still only really have 3 steps.
And just to highlight something that we found to be very important, that going back to our parent company and the research and studies done behind medicalmarijuana.inc on our skincare line, Stacey would like to share something important that we found to be interesting.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we've spoke before about how we have the CB1 receptor, and that receptor is in the brain. A 2012 study from Neurobiology of Aging demonstrated that mice bred without the CB1 receptors showed an increased skin aging as seen in a loss of skin elasticity, which is associated with aging skin, further hinting at the importance of the endocannabinoid system for healthy skin. So can you speak a little bit on the CB1 receptor and how that all kind of works together?
How it ties in with skin and the CB1. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah. And, you know, even for all of you watching this, you don't even have to really know what the difference is between CB1 and CB2. Most people are not going to ask you that. So I don't want anyone to get hung up on that, but just know that because these receptor sites exist in some of our organs, including our skin, if you turn them on effectively, then you have turned on your own personal internal mechanism for anti-aging. That's the biggest thing here. If you never tap into those, it's harder. That's why you're using the retinoids and the acids, and because what they do is they damage the skin so that your skin is triggered to make more new cells. That's how those type of things work. We don't need to be that aggressive, because when we tap into the endocannabinoid system and these receptor sites, our skin does it itself. You don't need to hurt the skin for it to heal itself. You can do it in a less aggressive way.
And I think this is good for, some people are not quite there yet at ingesting the CBD.
Right.
This is a really wonderful way for them to introduce a CBD regimen into their life and see what it does to their skin first.
Yes.
So, if they try the salve, they're coming back for more because the salve is so amazing.
Yes. It's our gateway drug. I mean, that's how people get turned on to what we do. And no pun intended, but it does lead to other things, because when you nourish the skin, those receptor sites send a chain reaction inside. It doesn't just stop there. We're not saying it absorbs internally. We're saying that it creates a chain reaction with all of the receptor sites. And that's amazing. So then if you start also ingesting it, imagine the two shall meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. And it's anti-inflammatory from the inside out, just like you're stating. And
exactly
brings us to the main focus of CBD and hemp, incorporated into skincare, and how phenomenal this can be for your aging, but not just anti-aging. I'm reading here that it really does address so many different skincare conditions, because everybody's got different skin types, right? Everybody's got issues or skin problems. And it says cannabinoids have been shown to particularly be effective in controlling potential skin cancers like melanoma, with acne, because what's acne? The inflammatory of the skin.
Yes.
And so much more. Eczema. It's been very, very helpful for eczema, and people are seeing great results with eczema. So is there anything you'd like to elaborate on with the skin conditions?
No, I mean, it totally makes sense that it's anti-inflammatory, and it's going to calm down any of the root sources of those things. And at the very least, which is huge, is preventing. future issues. When you start talking about the C word, even when it comes to the skin, it's all about prevention and getting on top of that. You know, I think about my son, he's 9 and I'm already giving him CBD every day in his yogurt or in his juice or in his cough syrup or whatever elderberry, you know, whatever we're doing. And he's got a leg up. None of us had that. So imagine, we still don't even know, you know, what it will produce in the body and in the skin, and what it will help us avoid in the topical aspects and the internal aspects. So it's fascinating. I think we're so lucky that we have access to this. It's so little known. You guys out there, you have so much to educate on, and something as non-threatening as skincare is a great way to enter into this conversation. Like, did you know that you had these receptor sites on your skin? Did you know you could put CBD in your skin? Yes. You don't smoke it. You don't have to do anything to it. You just put it on, or you eat it. It's easy.
You know they're going to be like, yes. Am I going to get high?
I know. Imagine, right? Your skin will be happy, but not high.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this line. I think we all can agree that this skincare line has been a game changer for us that use it.
Yes.
So is there any final thoughts on our defined skincare line with Canaway, Melissa or Stacy?
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I just feel great representing it. I never have a fear. Like you said earlier, it's not about skin type. It's not about age. It's not about male, female. It's not about acne, dry, anything. It's just unisex. It's one size fits all, because skin has the same chemical makeup basically, and it all has the endocannabinoid receptor sites. So if you keep that in mind, it's for everyone. It's good for all.
Absolutely. Well, you're fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure, ladies.
All right, everyone. If there's any questions that people might have, please go to the person that referred you to the site, to this video, and you won't be disappointed in trying our lovely skincare line. All right.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.